So we're all really psyched. It's been a great couple of weeks. The movie is doing very well. I know the studio's pleased, we're pleased. We've had almost a $100 million worldwide opening, the second highest opening ever for a non-sequel. So the movie performance has been terrific. Thank all of you for supporting the movie. And we'll see it at the box office once, twice, or maybe even 3 times. So 3 times as children here. So we appreciate that. And I know it's playing tonight at 9 o'clock and at 11 o'clock, so you can see it twice. You know, it's funny, just a few years ago, thinking that we would have this huge movie and all the new kids getting into the franchise and all the new toys we're going to show today. Would have been tough to imagine, but thanks to the great work from Paramount and from the Joe designers, we've got a terrific line to show you, and it's a great year to be a G.I. Joe fan. We've got a movie that's made up to $130-some-odd million already to date. That's globally. We've managed to introduce at least 45 new figures through 2009, over 15 vehicles. We've got a very good kick-butt EA game. We've got lots of IDW comics and books, both classic as well as new. And we've got a host of licensed products, whether it's sheets, we even have Duke shaving gear, we've got watches, we've got caps, we've got a little of everything. So it's amazing how broad this brand is going and touching so many people. So it's a fantastic time to be a Joe fan. But we're not here to talk about 2009. In the famous words of Baroness in The Rise of Cobra, this has only just begun. So for 2010, first we're going to talk a little bit about the strategies that we had from a design and marketing standpoint going into the year, and then we're going to dive deep into the details and show off all the great toy that I know you're all here to see. Basically, as you know, the movie leaves off, you see these howlers taking off, they're going to various bases, various locations. It's left a little bit ambiguous what's exactly happening with the Joe team. Well, we know where they're going. We decided where they're going. And the design team here has decided that these howlers are taking off to do what they do best, and that's fight Cobra. So the movie is The Rise of Cobra. This takes off, jumping off point from the movie. Cobra has established itself to a degree, and they are now spread out all over the world, and essentially is what we're going to have across Toyline in 2010, as well as some entertainment that we're going to be working on. We're going to have Joes fighting Cobras in these different extreme environments around the world. Cobra is working, of course, with Destro, Mars Industries, to develop a super technology, the ultimate weapon, much like the mass devices of the past, the Weather Dominator. We've got a new version of that, a new but an old version of that we'll be revealing in just a few moments. And essentially, the Joe team needs to figure out what Cobra is doing before they can put together this ultimate weapon. And they're building this technology across different areas of the globe. So as you can see here, you've got General Hawk in the middle leading the G.I. Joe team, and the Joe team will be fighting Cobra in these 4 extreme environments around the world. In the Arctic up in the top left, in an urban setting, city strike setting in the top right, bottom left there in the jungle, and then it will culminate in a very intense battle between Joe and Cobra in the desert. So we're calling this Pursuit of Cobra because it's all about going after Cobra and stopping them before they complete this ultimate weapon. Very quickly, we're going to jump through sort of the overall story behind these different missions, and then we'll talk about the product that supports all of them. Here you can see a little bit more of a close-up of the Arctic setting, and you can see, of course, we're going to be working on a snow job figure, and we're working on a great vehicle that Richard Woodhouse worked on, the Cobra Ice Cutter. John Ward worked on the Ice Cutter. Sorry, that's okay. So you'll see those in our Arctic line, and of course there are others. So this is just a snapshot of what you can expect to see when they're fighting at the polar base. Here we have the jungle setting. You see Recondo. You see an image of the terror drone. Let me dispel one rumor here. Unfortunately, we do not have plans to release a terror drone at this time, or a flag. But we're doing what we can to include it in the fantasy, to include it in the entertainment that we're going to be working on. So who knows, if things go the way we'd like them to go, we could be seeing terror drones in the future, but we can't promise that now, and it's not in the plan. And also, I'm sorry to say, we will not have a big log in the line as well. Here you have the urban setting. You've got vehicle. Some great stuff we'll be showing you in just a second. And then finally, in the desert is where we've got the final threat that Cobra is unleashing against the Joe team. Any guesses as to what you think Cobra might be working on?
Cobra Law.
Any more guesses? And it's not Brian Savage. That's not. And last chance, any guesses?
Serpentor?
We have something that's very special we're going to show you. It's in a way, it's a first. And it came from this gentleman here. And by the way, for the ladies in the audience, he's now taken. So here we have it, the big reveal. In 2010, we realized that Cobra has been working on this ultimate weapon, this ultimate technology, and the Joes are battling Cobra with this vehicle, the His-10. It's going to be a Bravo vehicle coming out as a Wave 2 item in the 2011.
Quite definitely. This was quite an interesting project at the very beginning. I mean, bringing back to life one of the most memorable vehicles is definitely a challenge, but I think you'll definitely like exactly where it's going. So I have a model to show you, so hopefully you guys can get to see it from all the way back there. But are you ready?
Yeah. No.
Just to be clear, this is just an early model. It's not even really the toy prototype. It's just something Richard put together because he knows this stuff. It's another one of Richard's custom. It's a Richard custom.
Yeah, it's another Richard custom that you guys get to see. It's pretty cool. It's made of a couple different vehicles as well as some other interesting parts, but it's got a couple of really different features from the original one, including moving treads. And you cannot go complete without the cockpit in the front, but also the gunner station that pops out the back. And in order to get moving, you got the left and the right side of the gun motivated at the same time. But one shoots a projectile launcher, and the other is a little Gatling cannon. And they do pop off, so you can kind of interchange different weapons. Now, so you're going into the heat of battle, and of course it's going only straight forward, but what Joes don't know is that it pops up and rolls.